Okay, guys, I just got home from musical theater concert rehearsal, or just a couple of hours ago. Had some dinner. Then my boyfriend came home. We watched The Secret Life of Pets. And then I was like, oh, I want to film a video because filming videos is so much fun. Small PSA, a look at my hands. I don't know if you can see, but I've got blisters all over my fingers because of a little cooking accident yesterday. I swear they're fine. Just, just so you know that they're there. Let's see if this is completely aligned. Yes, it is. It shouldn't be shaking the camera that much. Whoops. Because, I started this let's go through my collection video. And I really like doing them, but I also dislike doing them because it confronts me with what I have, and I have so much. And it honestly feels a bit like, I don't know, like it feels a bit weird. But I have a couple more like themed tubs, and then a whole bunch of random ones. Also a couple that I'm not going to do because I already previously did a video on them. For example, all the mermaid decks and all the Doreen Virtue decks. Those I'm not going to do anymore because those videos are already on my channel. But today I found a really cool themed tub, aptly named Cool AF decks. And yeah, these are just decks that I think are dope as hell. This first deck I got from my friend Finn. He was visiting Amsterdam with his boyfriend, and we met up and we had the best time ever. And I got the Way Home Tarot, which is really difficult to get over here in the Netherlands. And it had been on my list for ages. Whoops, all the cards are falling out. No, no, they can't fall out. I mean, I'm not going to be showing off the box that much anyways, because, it's a cool box, but it's a very simple box. The Way Home Tarot has the prettiest backs, probably ever. I love that, like, vintagey look. And it's a gorgeous, stunning, great tarot deck. It really is like trying something new. Oh, whoops, I just made the dumbest mistake ever, which is taking the box, emptying it, and then putting the lid back on. And for a box without thumb taps, that's not something you should be doing. Anyways, this is a really stunning deck. I love what it's done with what they've done with the court cards. It's really, really cool. It's very modern. It's very trendy, very cool. Downtown dive bar, coffee bar aesthetic. If you get what I'm saying, kind of that Miami Wynwood aesthetic. Really, really cool. I don't even know who did the art, but it's just really, really good. There's not a lot of people in here. It's very nature and stuff based. One of my favorite Hierophants ever. And it's just amazing. It's just amazing. For example, it's very Pippish. This Three of Swords I think is really, really dope because, I talk about the Three of Swords a lot, where I say it's not about heartbreak per se, like sometimes the heart needs to be broken in order for you to move on mentally. So, maybe it just wasn't meant to be. So in order for their fluid to flow freely, it's so good. I love in the wand suit we get like these windmills a lot, which I like. So all the quartz are like these silhouettes, which I think is really cool. And honestly, like for example, a lot of cards are very light, and then all of a sudden you get this like really intense pop of darkness in the art. Still wondering why this hasn't been picked up mass market, because it's stunning It's really good. I'm not going to be showing all the cards, although I almost want to because that's how good this deck is. And the only gripe I have with it is the cardstock. I don't think it's... I think this deck deserved a little bit better when it comes to that. Honestly, feels a bit on the cheaper side. I mean, I guess it's okay, but it's very mass market US games. And then this really elaborate Temperance art, which is a peacock, in case you couldn't tell. But it's, you know, I feel like there's more decks like these out there now. But back when this was released, this was one of the first decks in this style, which I think is really, really cool. And there's a lot, and they're very pippish, which I love, but there's a lot of symbolism in the pips that is portrayed differently than your very obvious, here's a sulking man, or here's a crying woman, you know? Like, it's just really stunning, really gorgeous, really pretty. Look, that Five of Pentacles with those rotten tomatoes, like... And let's just leave on this note, this universe card, because it's everything. So I can't thank Thin enough for, you know, gifting me this. It's absolutely stunning. Let's see. What's the next, like, really cool one that I want to show? Yeah, let's just, I mean, it doesn't really matter which one I pick, because they're all cool as hell. So I just did a review on a Dark Sinevere deck. This is another one that I have by them. I got it from Chris. Chris is a good friend from Germany. The Witch Folk Tarot. And this is a really cool little deck. Love the back designs. It's very, I don't know, 70s Russian propaganda style illustration. Soviet Union, I don't know, kind of reminds me of that time. Little gripe, the suit of swords is misspelled. It's always 10 of sword. But, you know, can look past that. Is it symbology-wise the best deck ever, and does everything make sense? No. Is it a really stunning piece of art that touches me, like, so deeply? Yeah. Is it a world that I want to live in? Yeah. Is it probably one of my faves? Yeah. Is it luscious linen cardstock? Yeah. It's just that sometimes you need to read a bit more into this rather than reading it at face value. So I don't know, yeah, just really like it. I've said it before, I wish they would hire an editor, or, you know, they could just ask me. I would do it for free, honestly. Like, take a glance at least, you know, the guidebook. Their guidebooks are hot messes anyways. But, you know, at least take a look at the cards and see if everything is spelled right and see if each card has the right title. In this deck, you kind of follow these 4 characters and some side characters on journeys through the major arcana and their respective suits, which I think is pretty cool. And it's just really weird, dope as hell. I think I don't know. I just really like it. I think it's a really cool deck. So that's the Witch Folk Tarot by Dark Sinevere. They also do this thing where they, like, add 2 bonus cards to each deck they do, and then they don't really explain it. I think that's hilarious. Because I will get people on my reviews of their decks going, do you know what those cards mean? And I'm like, am I Dark Sinevere? No, so of course I know. Another one that I think is dope as hell is the Fortuna Tarot deck. I obviously got the earthy looking green one. This deck is good, y'all. Once again, pretty pippish, gold foil, stunningly made. It's a really, really pretty deck, guys. Maria is really classy with her designs. It's very pleasing on the eye, a lot of symmetry going on. Once again, not for everyone, but if you want to like do a deep dive into astrology and tarot, this guidebook is so good. Like, honestly, so much fun. Maria's such a great astrology teacher. And you get a really cute deck with it, which I like. I mean, this sun card, come on now. Look at this. Look at it. Look at it. So I chose the, by some considered, more boring green one, but I don't know. I just love green, earthy things. I love gold. It's very thothy. You know, you get a lot of, like, reference elements on the card. So for Princess of Keys, it's Earth of Air. So that makes, you know, reading decks like these with the systems I like a lot easier. It's also really satisfying to feel the gold foil stamping on the cards. The quality is superb. Can't recommend this enough. There's 3 colorways of this out now. I really hope she doesn't do another one. I really hope she just designs a completely new deck, because she's really good at it. She definitely has a knack for it. Another really cool as fuck deck is the High Tarot by Dan Francis, queer creator from the UK, or gay creator, I should say. Comes with a digital guidebook. It's kind of a tarot oracle hybrid where Dan chose very personal, by the way, back design, boop, love it, where he chose very personal symbols and then added a tarot card layer to them. So you could either choose to read them as a tarot or as an oracle, kind of. It's really cool. I really like Dan's art. Dan is very much into photo collage mixed with illustration, mixed with Photoshop, mixed with, you know, all kinds of lusciousness, which I like. And I don't know, it's a really zany, cool deck. I love the font choices. I love the, I don't know, I just love the artistic value of this deck. So it's really interesting, and also the guidebook was an interesting read to sometimes see how or why he chose certain symbolism. So I don't know. I think it's stunning. I think it's really well made. The cardstock is like, this is that typical 350 GSM matte UV coating cardstock, but it has such a nice snap. This one lately, I've been getting a lot of 350 GSM decks that kind of made me go, meh, or that feel kind of weird, and I don't know why it is. It's almost like they're a bit thicker than 350 GSM. But this is really interesting. Obviously, I'm not going to go into all the symbolism right now, but it's just interesting. It's interesting. I love the queerness, for example, in this card, where we get as a symbol the siren as the devil, which makes total sense, but then it's this hot guy. I love little touches like that. And I love the way this deck feels. I love the tactical sensation of it. Another cool as fuck deck is the Barbara Walker Tarot in a tin. Don't get the full-size version, y'all, because it's only a little bit bigger, and it has like 20,000 languages on the borders of the card. So it's not worth the money people are asking for. Really cool back design. I have this thing for decks from the 70s and the 80s. Let's not do this the weird way around. It's very 70s, 80s looking, and I like that. I don't know. I have a deep love for Barbara Walker's work. It's really interesting. I love what she did with all the deities tied to the court cards, how she talks about them in the guidebook. Hell for Queen of Wands, like, stunning. Merlin for Prince of Pentacles. Yeah, this deck definitely added like lots of layers to my practice, which I like a lot. The keywords she chose are slightly reminiscent of Thoth card titles, but they're not all the same. So that's good to know, at least, I think. Because all the miners will have those Thothian keywords on there, but they are different. Sometimes they're the same, sometimes they're different. So yeah, I mean, most of y'all have probably seen this one. Out of the Tarot in a Tin decks that there are out there right now, I feel like this is the most special one, to me at least. So I think it's really good. What's this? What's this? Ooh, obviously, it's not in its original box because that's an atrocious box. And I actually haven't used this in a while, but this is one of my absolute favorite decks. It's huge. The Mary L. Tarot by Mary White. Probably one of the greatest decks of the 21st century, if you ask me. It's so interesting. It's so good. It's absolutely perfect. It's actually due for a replacement copy because there's a lot of creases and cracks, and because that's how much I used it, and for good reason, because it's a true work of art. She worked 11 years on the paintings of these cards, which kind of puts, which kind of puts me to shame as well, whipping up decks every now and again, but I don't have this skill. If I would probably do the same, but the level of quality in her art is amazing. It's super provocative. It's stunning. I love that I have the first edition where some of the more provocative cards are still in there. Mary White says that she let ego get the best of her while she created the first edition, and I'm like, no, girl, you just had a conversation with your publisher for a second printing, and they were like, we got to get those nasty cards out there, and you know it. But this is, in my opinion, for nerdy kids, when you're done with your little Rider-Waite-Smith basic studies, and you want something else, and all you see is more Rider-Waite-Smith clones, and there's no like cool new stuff for you to like find. Get this, because this is a mixture of all of it. It's just stunning. It's stunning. Seriously, love the back design as well. This is one of my favorites, and I know a lot of people like that. Happens a lot when a lot of people like something. You kind of get that counter movement where people are like, I don't get it, I don't like it. But once all that has kind of simmered down, you'll see that, this will become one of the classics. Another one I'm really happy to have is the Moonbaby Magic Tarot by Angela Mary Magic. I love Angela Mary Magic. She's a rock star. Like, she's everything I want to be when I'm 60, honestly. Really cool, heartfelt tarot oracle style deck with these really edgy looking collage style illustrations, massive keywords that make you think, that even takes experienced readers out of their comfort zone to just, I don't know, think differently about the shit they're doing, which I think is really cool. Like, oh man, like I could go on and on about this deck and how good it is, but Three of Lasers is an art spell, and it is, because threes are all about growth, about creation. Lasers or wands are all about creativity, passion. So your creativity is growing, is expanding. Your passion is expanding at a like really rapid pace, and that's an art spell. So she's just so smart, so amazing. She's a really cool, like, this deck is a cool vibe, and it was very ethically produced. That's why we get this glossy stock. But then again, it isn't amazing for online readings. However, Do we see a lot of reflection in this flat lay right here? I don't think so. It's just about it's all about the setup. You don't always have to have your ring light overhead to do online readings well. This moon is it. It's very vibrant. It's really cool. And gloss helps your cards hold up for like a long, long time. So yeah, it's stunning. I just love it. I love this deck. I love Angela Mary Magic. She's just a total doll, a complete darling. Like, she's so good. She's so good. Oh yay, another Dark Sinevere deck. The Pink Pain Tarot, which I burned a hole in with my crystal globe. Crystal ball. I'm such a dork. I've shown this before. It's really cool. Well, let's not do this, Levi. So this is the first edition. I don't know, I just think it's really, really rad, really dope. We have suits called Cigarettes and Pills. It's got guns, it's got knives, it's got blood, it's really dirty, but then also very kawaii and cute. Very quirky, and it's kind of got that minimalist design, and it's just... This artist is so freaking cool. I think she's called Dashna Zelonova or something like that. Look at that. It's so dope. Look at that star. Like, I don't know. It's just giving me like Sailor Moon on heroin vibes. And I adore it. I really do. It's, I don't know. It's just so quintessentially cool. And the backs are really cool as well. One thing that you can't really see on camera that well is that it's printed on a... the cards look white and pink, but they're more grayish and pink, and I kind of had to get used to that when I saw it for the first time, but hey. A deck that I have and that I never use, and I'm kind of thinking of rehoming because... I don't know, it's stunning, it's a work of art, but Kahn and Selznick, although they are praised all over, are just art deck creators. Their decks aren't usable at all. There's like no rhyme or reason to it. The guidebooks fucking suck. I don't know. They refuse to ship to Europe during Kickstarters, but will ship to Europe for really expensive amounts of money after. Yes, I'm a bit bitter. So yeah, it's a really cool deck. Everybody loves it. Blah, 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 blah. It's, you know, and it's really cool. It's just that I'm not that impressed. I'm not that impressed. I mean, maybe I'm not getting rid of it. I don't know. It's the carnival at the end of the world. It's all these freaks. Yay. Look at how cool they look. Look at how well they were drawn. I feel like Kahn and Selznick are just a bunch of Uzi wannabe artists. Yes, I am attacking them because... I don't know. The way they handled their last Kickstarter, you know, like, I know I'm very aware that most of my, like, viewers are from the United States, so you're probably going to be like, we don't care about that, but when you exclude a whole freaking continent for very little reason, very stupid reasons, that just sucks. Like, you could very easily send a couple decks from your printer to a fulfillment center in China after your Kickstarter is done and not want to be in control of every little thing all the time and still send to Europe. But, you know, they just refuse to do that because they want to have it shipped over to their place first and then quality control everything, and it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It is a stunning deck, but I really think it's kind of, I don't know, I'm kind of, like, I'm not going to give it away. This was expensive as hell, but I don't know, like, sometimes a sour experience with a creator can just completely put you off a deck. Can you imagine that? I mean, it is cool, but another really cool one that I do like is the Hush Tarot. Used Games are coming out with this, like, sort of like look-alike deck of this, but I prefer this anyways. It's really cool. You can kind of tell that Jeremy Hush is not a tarot reader and purely an artist, which I get. But I have to say the guidebook does have a nice twist to it. I wonder if he wrote that himself. Oh, he did. That's interesting. It has a very earthy, like, Fae feel to it. The cardstock's really good. I mean, US Games are really good at good mass market cardstock that satisfies. What I don't like is the branding on the back. Very unnecessary to have that. But it's cool. Like, for example, if you like the wooden tarot, but you didn't really, like, have money for an indie deck, this is a really great alternative that you could get. Yeah, it's really stunning, actually. I think Heather gifted this to me. I'm not sure anymore, but I really, really like it. I used to dislike it, but I like it a lot. It's cute. It's just, you know, some of the decks in here I consider really cool, but I don't really use them a lot because I kind of consider them art decks. You know, they're functional as tarot decks because they do have 78 cards, but they're very nonsensical. A lot of the Dark Sinevere decks fall in that category. The common Selznick Carnival at the End of the World. This one, yeah. Ooh. But this deck, however, the Sabbath, oh, I'm never paying that much for a tarot deck ever again, but boy, am I glad that I got this. This is probably one of my favorite tarot decks ever. It's really, really gorgeous, gorgeously made. It's like if Daniel Knoll and St. Jinx had a baby and sent it to the underworld. That's kind of what this is. Very classy nudity. Absolutely stunning. Very me. It's not just masculine imagery. And there's not a lot, but there's some feminine imagery in here. There's 3 devil card options. And yes, there is a lot of penis. And I don't mind that at all. I didn't get any of his other decks yet. They tend to go a little bit overpriced after you miss the Kickstarter. He probably has his reasons for it. They are always very luxe, you know, with gold embellishments on the cards, but then also the spot gloss. I don't know if you can see, but there's always spot gloss thingies on there as well. And then you also have a red foil on the back, some matte gilding. So, you know, it's an expensive deck to produce. But it's absolutely stunning. And I love it. One more. Just one more. Ooh, whoops. That's pretty intense. Okay, a couple more then. Look, that Lady of Stave. She's fab. It's a really nice sensory experience as well, working with this deck, or using this deck, I should say. Kind of over the term working with. You know, see all these Instagram and YouTube influencers that get like 20 decks a day, talking about working with a deck when they effectively, I don't know, work with a new deck every day, working with it. No, I never really worked with this, and I don't intend to, but I just think it's stunning. I do use it a lot. Do I work with it? No. Do I feel the need to work with every deck? No. And if you do, that's fine. I just don't. Another one that I adore. This was my first indie tarot, The Luminous Void. And I thought the art was creepy as hell, and I still think so. But the shape of the cards and the backs and the cardstock description just lured me in. And the artist actually has an Oracle deck out now, which is mass market and has round cards, and it looks fab. So I'm definitely checking that out. inspired by old playing cards that used to have this shape, which is true. We get this stunning effort from Laura Zusman. She's not the most sociable, friendly creator out there, I must add. But she has every right to not engage with anyone who uses her deck, obviously. Just don't expect a friendly hello when you try to message her with a question on Instagram. But I don't mind at all, you know. It's very clear, like, I don't accept DMs. Okay, good. Really stunning cards. It's really gorgeous. Creepy as hell, yeah, but very evocative, very raw, very feminine, very stunning, very Rider-Waite Smith as well. Like, if you're a beginner and you're into like creepy shit like this, you could definitely read with this, totally. Even though I still found it a bit intimidating at the beginning when I got it, but it's just everything. I mean, come on now. This must be one of my favorite High Priestesses. Look. So yeah, and that back. It brings back memories, man. I think I have this deck for about like 4 years now. This is kind of what kickstarted my collecting craze, where I was like, ooh, I gotta get all the decks. Oh, the Stolen Child Tarot. So weird, but so cool. By Monica L. Knighton, based on the poem by W.B. Yeats, who was a member of the Golden Dawn, and still is probably posthumously. You get this really cool art card with it, and then you get this other really cool art card with it, so that's really sweet. So really nice, thin but nice linen cardstock. Kind of bigger and wider than most tarot cards, and it's all these changeling children living with the animals and the fae in the fairy world. All these stolen children. It's really stunning. I think her illustration style has a really like classic feel to it. And yeah, this is so special. Every time I see this, I'm like, probably one of the most special decks I own. This is the back, by the way. Really pretty. So that linen cardstock too, it's stunning. Everything about the set is stunning. It literally, literally every time I flip through this deck, or every time I look at it, I get emotional, and I don't know why. Probably because it reminds me so much of my childhood for some reason. The world that little Fantasy Levi lived in looked very much like this. Look at that fool. I mean, I'm not one for babies in tarot decks, but, you know, the Stolen Child. Stunning. It's a great deck. Really good deck. So yeah, props to Monica for creating. I got this during a time where I was like, I need something original. Something that's, you know, not copy-paste, which I still feel a lot of tarot is, but yeah. And it was very original. Up next, the Blood Moon Tarot. I do have a lengthy review of this on my channel. This thingy took a while to come out, but it's really gorgeous. It's stunning. It's, you know, probably going to end up in my classics pile along with the Marielle. A lot of people are hating on the borders. I like them. I don't mind them at all. The back design looks stunning. We get a lot of gorgeously illustrated cards in here, minors as well as majors. The minors are renamed, and I don't hate that in this instance. Same with the Stolen Child Tarot. They're renamed, but they make sense to me. Oh, that's a little thank you card that should probably be at the front of the deck, not in the middle of it. But it's really stunning. It's really pretty, and I like it a lot. Oh, this High Priestess. I mean, come on now. Look at that little review I did of it. I'm actually literally going through all the cards, very detailed. It's pretty good. And no, I won't link anything in the cards. You're just going to have to check it out. And then I have two more here, which I'm not even going to take out of the, well, ooh, whoops. Well, maybe now I have to. This is a sign. The tarot gods are angry. The James R. Eads Prisma Visions and the James R. Eads Cosmovisions. You have all seen these by now. They're cool, but I don't know if I like them. I do love Impressionist art, but... So those are all my cool AF tarot decks. Does that mean that I don't have any more cool AF tarot decks? No, I actually have tons, but, you know, these were designated especially for this box, this tub. I was like, okay, this is going to be the tub of kind of cool, zany, arty, farty decks. So now you got to see them. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.